This Saturday, they will interview Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator of the Patriots, and Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator. That's on Saturday. So teams that have a bye this week are able to have their coaches interview. Eric Studesville of Denver is going to be interviewed on Friday. Steve Wilks, the Panthers defensive coordinator, is said to be interviewed on Monday. They're interested, according to Paul Schwartz of the New York Post, Pat Shurmur, who has been the offensive coordinator for the Vikings and kind of led Case Keenum to this unbelievable season. Jim Schwartz, a lot of people like him, defensive coordinator. He failed as a coach with the Lions, but did get them to playoffs once. Steelers offensive line coach Mike Munchak, also somebody that they're interested in. Now, while you were away, Don, John Mara said, I'd like somebody with extensive coordinator experience and preferably head coaching experience. Well, let's take a look. McDaniels was a coach and failed in Denver. Patricia's never been a head coach. The thing that Patricia has going, and this is going to sound silly to some people, if you remember when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, he came off the Patriot plane when they landed in New England, and he wore one of those Roger Goodell clown shirts.
Right.
I don't know if Mara would want to bring in that guy.
Probably not.
Steve Wilks has had I think this is his first year as coordinator, although he has a connection to Gettleman.
No, I get it, but if you want to go with a guy with experience and you're going with a guy that's had 1 year of a coordinator experience, I don't know, but they are going to talk to him.
Jim Schwartz,
right?
Again, made the playoffs with the Lions, but
doesn't happen every year in Detroit, by the way, but still.
Pat Shurmur, he has coached, I think, in the past and failed. You've got Mike Munchak as well. The interesting thing about the coaching tree with the Patriots, everybody's looking for the next Bill Belichick done. Well, where is that? Romeo Crennel failed. Charlie Weiss failed miserably at Notre Dame, then at Kansas. McDaniels failed with Denver, although I think he was 34 years old. I mean, a lot of the coaching tree guys don't really make it.
That's true. Now, you just mentioned Belichick. Well, if we had a list of candidates when the Patriots were looking for a job, they'd say, oh, Bill Belichick just got let go by the Cleveland Browns, 3 years, went to the playoffs once, won a playoff game. You wouldn't be overly excited about him, even though he did win 2 Super Bowls as a coordinator with the Giants. And Jim Schwartz, did kind of the same thing in Detroit, and then he blossoms into being this big-time coach. I do think you want to come with somebody with experience. All right, what are you looking for? You're looking for the opposite of what you just let go.
Always.
Right?
So you're probably going to go for a defensive guy.
So or just somebody that is more of, I think, a disciplinarian, right? Because you went from Coughlin, McAdoo. Things were a little bit looser with McAdoo. You saw what happened. So maybe you want to go back.
Tell stories about, Felix the Cat? Is that the guy's?
No, the Lion.
No, that's...
oh, yeah. Frazier the
Lion. So you're going to want to bring somebody in that's probably a little bit more of a disciplinarian. But you could also go with Gettleman being the disciplinarian and maybe the coach so you can play a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. But I would think you'd want to go the opposite way. I'm interested in bringing an offensive guy because if you're going to bring in a quarterback, you want to have kind of an offensive system for him to mature in, right? Because I think that's one of the fears that Jet fans have about Todd Bowles being the head coach is he's a defensive guy, and they're going to go draft a young quarterback. Who's going to mature that quarterback? So do you want more of an offensive flavor?
Now, let me ask you, if you're Josh McDaniels, would you take the Giant job or would you stay there and be the guru for Brady and be the coach in waiting for whenever Belichick said that's it?
Yeah, but when's that going to be?
But Josh McDaniels, look at what Garoppolo's done.
Yeah.